We have a lot of news to get to today involving quarterbacks. We'll get to Tom Brady later. We start with Aaron Rodgers, of course, who remains engaged in this very public standoff with the Packers. His number one wide receiver, Davante Adams, close friend, has had some comments in the last few days. Here are the most recent ones, talking about the Rodgers holdout. He said, honestly, it's not even something that we truly talk about like that. It's just everybody's been dialed into what they got to do. I think everybody's mindset, everybody's going to love Aaron the same way when he returns. And obviously, it's been a little bit of a confusing situation, but there hasn't been any negative talk or anything like that. Everybody's behind him. And as I bring the football crew in this morning, Marcus Spears, I think the reason this is coming up is because there are a lot of people wondering at some point, do his teammates kind of turn on him? Is that something that could potentially happen when training camp begins if he isn't there? Swagoo, how do you read what Davante was saying and the whole situation?
Well, to your point, G, at some point they turn on him, but not in a malicious way. They turn on him because they have to handle their business. They're there. They have to get ready to play a football season, and it involves rallying around Jordan Love if Jordan Love is going to be the guy that they're going to have to go forward with. The bottom line is this, man, and I said this a few weeks ago, G, a couple weeks ago. Like, at some point, these players, they don't give a damn about what Aaron Rodgers is dealing with because they have people to support. They have to not only support their own careers, but they got families that they have to take care of as well. So just as Aaron Rodgers is doing his business and going about it the way he needs to go about it, these players in this locker room for the Green Bay Packers have to start thinking in that way too. So whether you call it turning your back or turning the page, whichever one it is, they better worry about their careers and the things that they need to do to get ready for this season and get concerned about rallying behind Jordan Love. Yeah, love Aaron Rodgers off the field, and he's y'all guy. But when it gets to football and training camp slowly creeping up, it's time to think about the guys that are there in the locker room and on the field with you.
What do you think, Nink?
He's 100% right. And there's a saying in football, don't count others' money. And basically what that means is mind your business. Just mind your business. Worry about what you can do to earn your contract. You earn your own money and you work for your own contract. And there's going to be situations where people are unhappy and they're trying to get a contract done or they're trying to figure out what's going on. And as a player, you just worry about yourself. You're trying to get yourself in the best possible shape, best possible position to win and succeed on the field for yourself, for your family, so you could make your money. So, at the end of the day, every player has to figure out what they want to do, where they're at with their contracts, with their team, their status. But when you start to worry about everyone else and having issues with people that are holding out, then it's going to affect how you play. So everyone needs to just mind their business and try and perform at a high level.
So, Kimberly, I feel like this has taken so many twists. And there was a time, and it wasn't all that long ago, and I think all of us were convinced he was going to get traded. Now I'm completely convinced he isn't going to get traded, certainly not anytime particularly soon. The people that you talk to around the league every single day, what do people expect to happen here?
Oh, people around the league expect him to be in Green Bay. And because at the end of the day, they believe the Packers have the leverage, not Aaron Rodgers. Front office execs say the Packers should hold firm, not trade him because he's so good. And Davante Adams saying when he returns, that to me, he's putting a timeline on it. It is ambiguous, but at the end of the day, the guys aren't worried because they expect Aaron Rodgers to be back in Appleton, this passive-aggressive back and forth between the front office and him. They think it'll end. And so that should give Packers fans a little bit of relief because if Davante Adams, his best weapon, expects Aaron Rodgers to be there, then the situation may be nearing its end soon.
Exactly. Look, we're at a point now where we're parsing the words that closely, but I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
We will keep a close eye on this for sure. All right, we're just getting started. This is going to be a crazy day. Coming up next, did you see what Steve Kerr said about Kevin Durant and Michael Jordan? Here's the real question. Is it possible he was right? The debate is coming up next right here. And then, as I mentioned, Tom Brady. Is he really the GOAT? Wait till you hear the answer he himself gave to that question very late last night. You'll hear it on the way. You're watching Get Up on ESPN. It is time to get up with tremendous Trey. Oh, what a night for this superstar. He put on a show. You'll see it all right off the top. Man, Did you hear what Steve Kerr said about KD and MJ? Is it possible he was right? The debate is on, and we'll have it here. Plus, if we're talking about it, you know they're talking about it. How Aaron Rodgers' future figures to distract the pack. All that and a whole lot more. We're getting up with you, starting right now on a Thursday. Plus, Tom Brady. You won't believe what he said on national television last night. We're getting it ready. We'll have it coming for you here in just a matter of moments. Greeny ready to go on this Thursday. Football crew is standing by and ready to go. Kimberly's got lots of news. The big swagoo is ready to talk hoops as well. And Rob Ninkovich has flowers instead of him sacking Russell Wilson behind him. It threw me off. But we must begin with the performance of the night. A performance for the ages in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Bucks, Hawks in Milwaukee. Trae Young and company trying to pull off another upset. And his swag was on full display early. Look at this. Oh, he's throwing it up off the backboard for one of his 11 assists for John Collins. But wait, you looking for swag? Here we go. Young crossing over Holiday. Wait for it. Oh, the shoulder shimmy. You need to see it again as he knocks down the three. Take another look. Trae Young, you got to be kidding me. Knocking it down, feeling it. And Giannis is making sure his teammates are well aware of it, but they couldn't stop it. Now we go 3.5 minutes to go in what was a really good game. Hawks are down 5, but Trae Young not giving up. Hold him in. How does that go in? Young 17 of 34 from the floor. Hawks down by 2 after he made the foul shot. 2 minutes to go. Bucks up 2. Drew Holiday throwing it up. Giannis throwing it down. He had 34. Milwaukee a 4-point lead. Under 40 to play. Hawks down 1. Young, no. Clint Capella, one of his 19 rebounds, and he puts it up and good. Hawks take a 1-point lead. Ensuing Milwaukee possession. 30 seconds to play. Where do they go for a bucket? That's been their big question mark in the playoffs. They swing it around. That's a good look for Pat Connaughton, but it's no good. It's an air ball on the 3, and they save it, and it's Trae Young who comes away with it, and the Hawks are starting to sense it. 4.5 seconds to play. Bucks inbounding, down by 3. That's Middleton. That's a tough look, and it's no good. And the Hawks steal home court advantage. They win Game 1, 116-113. 48 points for the superstar, Trae Young.
It's special. I wanted to achieve things like that when I was a rookie. Coming in to achieve an accomplishment like that, it's a great accomplishment for our team and for the city.
You got to make it as tough as possible for him. And make him play a lot of one-on-one. But at the end of the day, like, he had 48 points. Like, he's a great player. He has the ball a lot in his hands. But we just got to make it as tough as possible.
I mean, the performance is the stuff of legend. The 48 tying LeBron for the most points by a player at the age of 22 or younger in a conference final. LeBron had his 48 against the Pistons in Game 5 of the 07 Conference Finals. He scored the final 25 points of that game. That was a legendary performance, and maybe someday we'll look back on this one as a legendary performance as well as we get the conversation started. Vince Carter gets up early with us. The coach, PJ Carlissimo, ready to go. Vince, I'll start with you. Just through a superstar's eyes, what are we seeing right now in 22-year-old Trae Young?
We're seeing confidence. Yes, you say swag. Yeah, we saw the shoulder shimmy. We saw Mark Jackson do it. We saw Steph Curry do it. And they all had swag and confidence. And that's what you're seeing with Steph Curry. You have to give the Hawks organization a lot of credit. Why do I say that? Because now they're putting Trae's abilities on display. We know he can shoot the ball. We know he can pass the ball. And now we know he can shoot the floater. So what do you need to add to that? Well, you need a great pick and roll player and a lob threat. They have that. You need shooters around him so Trae can have an open floor. You have that. And of course, with all that, he gets into the paint and he makes the right decision. So this is what you're seeing, and this is what he's had from day one, but now it's on full display.
That's a really excellent description of a well-built team, and since the beginning of March, their record is as good as basically anybody's. PJ, Trae Young, 22 years old. What are you seeing?
Incredible talent and a lot better than I realized, frankly, Greeny. You know, it's funny. Vince probably can't relate to it because he's been right from the beginning on the big stage. Trae Young, even though he was in our league, didn't have a lot of national exposure. And guys can say, well, it's not this, it's not a big, it is a big deal. If you're playing on Saturday night or Sunday afternoon, it's huge. This is the third straight series they've won their first game on the road, the Atlanta Hawks, and he's the primary reason. Even to be in the third straight series when you start on the road each time is a strong statement. He's loving the fact that he's in the spotlight, but he is just messing with anybody that's trying to cover him. And that pick and roll that Vince talked about is impossible to defend.
Look, when he was a freshman at Oklahoma, go ahead, VC, go.
I want to add to that. And if you noticed how he went about things in this series, it was a little different. In the first two series of the game ones, he was assisting, getting guys involved. He was ultra aggressive in this game one series, and he just started scoring, and then things opened up because if you notice, and I'm sure we'll talk about the pick and roll defense, you see Brook Lopez is just lagging back, so he took advantage of it in the